Hello, this is Susan Ashley. I was meant to do a channeling today on a platform and we've had difficulty connecting. I would say that whatever the message is, it's meant to come out is being blocked. So I decided, fine, I will do it myself. So that's what I'm doing and putting it on my YouTube channel. So please like and share and click the notification button so that you'll be notified when I do the live healings every Wednesday evening that will also be run through YouTube. Now those healings will only stay up for 24 hours and there's a reason for that which I'll explain on the evening. But for now, let's get on with this channeling because I feel like I need to do it, and I just feel whatever the obstruction was, I don't want it to defeat me. I want to keep going with it. So I will do a channel now, which I don't normally do on a video on YouTube. I haven't done that for a lot of years because, it's a bit strange to look at, isn't it, really? So I'm what they call an unconscious medium, so I don't remember what is said, which is slightly different to a lot of other, well, I'm a channel, sorry. A lot of people who are mediums call themselves channel because they're a medium between the spirit world and this world, but they're conscious. A channel is someone who's unconscious, who actually doesn't remember what's said, who moves themselves out of the way. That's why it takes me a minute or so to go and for Kassandra to come. So let's get on with it, shall we? Okay. And we are Kassandra. We come to you this day in love and in light and in truth. And we understand that there is no one else here to give permission, but the permission has been granted with a yes from our daughter. So we will commence with the communication that we were going to do this day. You can feel that your planet is at the crossroads. You understand that many of you are quite impatient for things to move forward, to hurry up, to be done. But what you're talking about is almost 8 billion people as a united collective energy, creating the reality in which you all live in. And a lot of those people are being drawn to certain programs, certain beliefs, certain fears, certain cautions. And so that's why it's like the world is in disharmony at the moment. The world is separating itself in a way. So on one side, there are those that are filled with fear and, danger, what's to come. And then on the other side, there are those of you that understand what is happening, and there's a little bit of excitement. There is, a central core of peace, etc. And then there is the middle road, the middle lot of consciousness that are let's say 1 foot in each side. So they're sort of positive, but also fearful. They're not quite sure which way to go because 1 minute they feel good, the next minute they don't feel good. So it's very difficult for them. And that's the majority of people, in a way, that are sort of waiting to see what is going to happen. So, to you I speak. Pick a side. Now is not the time to wait. Now is not the moment that you can have one foot in fear, which is darkness, so you're choosing the darkness, and one foot in the light, which is peace, clarity, generosity, sharing, all of these attributes. You need to choose now. And those that you are in fear all the time, worried about your job, worried about your children, worried about your money, worried about your home, worried about everything, you also have the opportunity to choose, because light creates, darkness uncreates. And every time you are focused on your fear, on the trauma of what might happen, you are giving energy to the dark, and you are not sitting in the light. And yet we know that you pray to God. God, please help me. Angels, please help me. Guides, please help me. Buddha, please help me. Whoever you pray to, you are praying. Please help me. But you are the one in the lifetime. You are the one in the physical reality that is choosing the dark. The light, your guides, God, whomever, cannot mysteriously pull you out of that, because you have free will. It is your choice where you want to be. But we are telling you, and you are feeling it. You can feel the pressure. You feel it. There is a urgency. And we're very aware that some of you a few years ago began to feel that urgency, but now it's right on your doorstep. And the urgency is all about choosing, right? So you might say, well, that's a stupid thing to say, because I didn't choose this and I'm not creating this. And we hear it all. So we understand the mentality. That's the mind wanting to justify why you can do nothing, why you don't need to choose a side, and why you're projecting it onto the outside world. You've all been asking for, working for, cleaning for, healing for this unity consciousness, and now it's here. And you're still not understanding it fully. Unity consciousness means I am one with everything. You are a part of me. I am a part of you. So, if you are in pain, there is still pain residing in me. If you are in poverty, there is something residing in me that is in disharmony with abundance. So, we say that because you may be wealthy, you may be abundant, but you are seeing poverty. Why? Is it? And you might say, well, it's not my fault. I've done everything to make myself successful. So, what business is it of mine? And we would say to you this. If you are seeing it, if you are witnessing it, if it is in your reality, then it is within you. So where are you out of balance? Is there a separation between the caste of the individuals? Oh, I'm superior. Is there a silent greed? Is there a silent superiority? Is there a silent, I don't want to see, because it offends me. We've heard this. It offends me. Your poverty offends me. You know that you hear politicians say when someone is complaining, get a better job. They just say, their response is get a better job, buy a better car. How silly is that? Right? So you can see that if there is poverty existing in your reality, well, then you need to address it within yourself. Where are you out of balance with abundance? Could you be more generous without feeling that you're giving something away? You're being deprived. You know, maybe you'll go without that 5th car or 3rd house. Oh my goodness, how terrible. You see, you become focused on commodities, things. So there will be many that will lose a lot to balance that out. And we are not saying that to give you fear. We are saying that because everything must come into balance. We're talking about you. For the world to be at peace, you must be at peace. But how can you find peace in a chaotic world? Find one thing that brings you peace, one thing that calms you down. It can be going into a forest, swimming in an ocean, knitting, reading takes you into another world. It can be singing, toning, any form of art, right? Growing things. It can be just hugging your children, having a laugh. Anything. Doesn't have to be a major thing that you have to, go out of your way to do. It can be something quite small that brings you home to yourself. So why has all of this become so separate? Why are you all so separate to what's happening outside of you? Why do you not care if it's not happening for you? And then you have those that overcare, that are hysterical over what is happening out there. They're not at peace, so you see the two sides. It's either I don't care or I overcare. Where is the balance? The balance is within you. What created the separation of the self? It was a disconnection from God. You are always told there is a third party involved. The priest, the imam, the monk, the whoever is going to get you in contact with God. Or there's the other side of it where you say, oh, God's a dirty word. We're more consumers. We are the most important thing in the universe. You deserve this. You have a right to that. You deserve. We hear this a lot. Why do you deserve it? Oh, because I am here. Because I'm a nice person. We hear this a lot. Why can't I win all this money? Because I'm a nice person. So therefore I have a right to it. All of this sort of thinking, psychology, has been brought to you, compliments of the New Age system, that's made you even more selfish, more self-obsessed, more separate. Oh, my family doesn't understand me. They don't agree with me, so I will separate myself. So you have been taught the solution to finding you, to being successful, is to separate yourself. So, of course, if someone is literally abusing you, then you remove yourself from that. But if someone has a different political view, religious view, opinion to you, you can still accept them. You can still be in their life and look at the qualities you love about them. You don't have to separate yourself. You can accept them, therefore accept yourself. Because when you separate from everything around you in order to accept yourself, you're the only one who's accepted yourself. And you might say, well, that's close to godliness because I've now accepted myself and that's all part of the journey. Yes, it is. It is part of the journey. But is it only one side of the journey? So, because of what religion has done in God's name, which is so vile, we won't even speak of it, what it has lied to you, tortured you, created wars, etc. in the name of God. God never did that. That was man. So when we hear you say, why does God let that happen? Why did God do this to me? Why didn't God warn me? God didn't do it to you. The person over there did it to you because they chose to do it to you because they were separate from God. They went against God and God's holy laws. They went against it. And then if you look at, the Bible and the scriptures and the Quran and all of these different, the Torah, all of these different religious written books, they've all been shifted and changed. Why? By man, to accommodate man, or taught in a language that allows man to be more superior. Again, a separation between men and women. So everything has been about separation. And now you are being pushed. You are being pushed to connect, to unite, to accept unity consciousness. We said many years ago, something will happen on the planet that will force you to come together in order to survive. And that is happening right now. And the answer is not to eliminate those that disagree with you or do not accept the way you live or you don't accept the way they live. It's not to eliminate. It is to accept that everything that is happening on the planet is a direct result of your consciousness. Find the peace within. Find God within. In whatever way God shows itself through you. God is not one person sitting on a throne demanding everything, cruel, unrelenting, unforgiving, punishing. No. That's not what God is. And at this point in the dimensional frequency that you're all residing in, it's very difficult to bring you the concept of what God is, because God isn't a thought. God is a feeling, it's a being. It's something that flows through you, and you are denying its flow through you because you are stuck in the mind. And this is something that needs to be shifted at this moment, in whatever way is appropriate for you. Because things are going to get a lot more bumpy. Why? Because you can see there is artificial intelligence influencing you. There is media influencing you. There is hatred fueling you. Craziness, energies that are fueling you all to separate. Why are they doing that? Why is there such a push for that to happen? Because the key to world peace, the key to the beautiful golden age you've been dreaming about for centuries, really, is you. Because it comes through you. Everything that is created in God's image is created through you. If you cry out to God, or you cry out to the angels, or you cry out to, let's say, your guides, and you say, help me, they don't just suddenly appear before you and say, oh, well, here's a new job. You can work for my company. No, they work through someone else that appears to you, someone in the physical that says, oh, I'm happy to look to hire you. I'm looking for this, or I'm searching for that, or that you're a perfect match for what they are wanting to do. Now, yes, you can get healing from God, from these beings, absolutely, in the physical, that isn't necessarily dependent on another person. However, a lot of the time you require another person to anchor it into your body, because your body is used to rejecting God, to rejecting that light, because your body feels in some way, somewhere way back, guilt, shame, self-loathing, self-hatred, denial of who you are. All of these things create a separation from the God of who you are, because God flows within all of you. You are God. And when you have people who say, well, yes, I'm God, and I really believe this, that I am so powerful that I actually don't need to do anything. You all have to pay me to sit here and just look at me because I'm so powerful. That's not God. That's ridiculousness. That's an idol. It's not God. So don't go thinking that because you've invited God into your life, that all of a sudden everything is going to suddenly become magical for you, in the sense of people are just going to give you money because you're sitting there, and give you food and clothing and a house and a beautiful car and all of these things because you emanate God. That would not be the reason to emanate God, to get gifts. That's silliness, and that's being an idol, right? And you've seen plenty of those. Okay, if you are embodying God, if you are one with God, what you will find is, how can I serve you, will come out of you. God, where would you like me to be today? How would you use me today as your servant? Right? So who can I help? Who can I guide? Who can I assist? Who can I comfort in whatever it is that you do? Right? So this separation is something that they are wanting to occupy yourselves with in the mind. Okay, unity consciousness is mind, of course it is, but it's also heart, and it's also spirit. So Father, Mother, so mind, heart, Holy Spirit, God. Come. That's how this cross was meant to be. I am the Father. I am the Mother. I bring in the Holy Spirit. It resides within me. That is unity consciousness. The Father is the ability to have clarity of thought. The Mother is the ability to have compassion. So you see, you are unity. You are unity, but you have been taken away from it for quite some time. And now everything that's happening on your planet is pushing you towards it, because you are going to have to reach out to each other to survive. If you have found God and you have invited that into your life, and you sit without separation, without division, then you will find yourself in a beautiful reality where you do not witness these horrible things, because your job then becomes to anchor God's field, the unity consciousness, the complete vibration of clarity, compassion, universal laws, truths, knowledge onto the earth to create balance. But if you are not at peace with that, then you will have conflict before you. And some of you who have, as we said, who are over here in this loving camp, right? You might choose to look at the conflict and send peace. Or you might choose to look at it and say, no, there's no home for you on this planet. Leave. You're not telling the people to leave. You're telling the demonic reality that's behind all of it to leave. You see, the concept of home. Everything has a place in reality. So this home, planet Earth, originally was a planet that was supposed to be a living library, but also a sort of like a universal healing center, because all of the different plants and animals were brought onto the planet to create a symbiotic, nurturing environments to see if they could all live together, right, in harmony. So that took a long time to get into balance. So it was never created as a place of darkness. It was always created as a place of light and healing, so that these other planets out in the universe could understand that they could live together. You see, there you are. It's possible. It's possible, right? So it was meant to be a place where, let's say, conflicts could be resolved within the universe through understanding how you can live together without destroying each other or being in competition, taking too much from each other. Of course, you have to take a little bit here and a little bit there in nature, right? Because animals are all interconnected. Some feed off different species. The same with plants, fish, this sort of thing. So this was a library of healing, a library of connection. And the darkness invaded it, so it's not its original home. So if let's say you buy a house, and in that house was, previous to you buying it, a negative vortex was created, pentagrams were laid, spells were done. It becomes almost like a portal. It's like a poltergeist energy, right? And you move in and you start bossing it around and saying, and it's been its home for a long time, and you go, well, I'm living here now, you get out. But that home was created for that specifically. And maybe, it would take a lot more than one person to remove all of that damage that's done. It would take an entire group, actually. So the light group needs to be very clear that that is not your home. And we're not going to fight with you. We're just filling up this home with light. It's no longer comfortable for you. There's no home for you here. Here you go. There's the door. Goodbye. Right? Now, if you have a home of light and you invite darkness into it, then you will have trouble, won't you? But you can also ask it to leave. So, there are those that would say, well, you can just burst these dark beings with light, and they will convert to light beings and they will be happy. Not really the case if you're really dealing with demonic energies and very dark interdimensional beings. You cannot do that. It's not their choice. They have a role to play within the universe. That's why they have been allowed to exist. Because God created both sides. God force governs both sides. It would be just as provocative if you said to a light being, well, I'm going to turn you into a dark being and you're going to love it. It's a bit silly. So it really, obviously, if you're dealing with young souls that have dabbled in the darkness, of course you can bring them back into the light. Of course you can. But when you're talking about old souls that love the darkness, their whole energy is destruction. And you're also talking about artificial beings that have been designed to destroy, then you can't change them. And one needs to understand the differences between those energies. And there are people on the planet that do, but there are less that do, in all honesty. Most people do not come across demonic energies. They come across earthbound spirits who are angry, distressed, indigenous that were destroyed. So there's a lot of different energies that go on in this. What you're dealing with at the moment is very dark beings that are influencing people. And these people are choosing to align with that darkness. And we are saying to them, and you know who you are, and the fact that we are saying it goes out into the ethers, we are saying to them, you better choose which side you want to be on now. Because before the end of the year, there will be no returning for you. And whether you choose that silently or publicly is entirely up to you. But that's what we're going to say. So, and then for those of you that are still in fear, worried, concerned about what's happening, take your foot out of the darkness. Surrender to God. And understand that even if you die, you are one with God. There are many that are choosing to leave. They're choosing to leave. There are many that are choosing to suffer before they leave. But it is their choice. And you must accept it. Rather than fight with them, accept it. And if they change their mind afterwards because they see the truth, then you can be compassionate towards them. So, this is an extremely amazing time for you as individuals to go within and find anything, any thought, any feeling. You see, the truth is that your thoughts have been a big battlefield, but your heart knows the truth. So if you can allow yourself to get out of your mind, out of your mind, out of your thoughts, and sit in your heart for a moment, you will know the truth for you, what is right for you. Now, we just want to say one more thing before we leave. There are a couple of different things that are happening. Okay, some of you are feeling electric shocks in the night. Not when you go to sleep and you feel yourself falling. That's when your spirit wants to leave and you're pulled back into the body. We're not talking about that. We're talking about electric shocks, and these electric shocks can be in the forehead, the third eye, the crown chakra. It can be in the base chakra, the feet, the hands, anywhere on the body. These little electric shocks are happening. And we know many of you are feeling these shocks, and you're also feeling some buzzing in your chakras, like your chakras are whirling around or even pulsating out. When you are at peace, you can feel it pulsating out. Okay? So the electricity is this is all about your electromagnetic field. And these little bits of electricity are sort of like it's not a bad thing, right? It's not someone trying to get to you, or we know that there are some EMFs that are being projected onto people, but that's causing headaches. That's not like a little zap, That's a headache, a piercing pain. We're not talking about piercing pain. We're talking about, if you touch something and you get a little electric shock on your fingers, it's like that. It's like a little zap. And this is what's happening is an upgrade of your physical energy. It's like, your spirit literally shocking your physical energy to wake up a little bit, where you might have stagnant frequencies. You might have an energetic block of some sort or something like this. And it's like they're sort of giving energy to your physical body, okay? And then this pulsating, whirling feeling you may get in your chakras, especially in the base and the second chakra, sometimes in the third, but mostly in those two lower ones. That's because of these little electric shocks, more of your spirit is coming to anchor itself in the physical body. So what you can do is to raise the frequency of your physical body. Physical's the last stage. It always is, that. So raise the frequency of your physical body. And that may come in unusual ways. You see, some might say, well, I'll raise the frequency of my physical body through, I'm not going to eat animals anymore. But they actually might need to eat the flesh of an animal, It might be that their ancestral line needs that. It could be that for some, what might be the best thing for them to do is to fast. Everybody is different. You have to find your way. What feels right for you? Sit it in your heart, not in your head. See how you feel about it. Does it make you feel too anxious? Does it make you afraid? Does it make you excited? Do you feel at peace when you think of it? It's all this sort of thing. Knowing who you are. Ask for a dream, what is right for you. You're not without your abilities, none of you. You're all going to start getting an amplification of your abilities. So don't go thinking that you are somehow special and different to everyone else because you have this. That's again a separation. Don't do it. When you hear yourself, when you feel yourself separating in that manner, stop yourself. You are all going to have amazing abilities and gifts, all of you. So why would you want to compete with another? Why would you want to be the best at it and have power over others? Because you want to separate yourself. This is the biggest energetic signature that needs to be released. You are one, and everything that is happening out there is an offshoot of what you are energetically signaling out to the world. And you might say, well, I'm pretty healed. I've been healing for all these years. Yes, and you have a nice life. Yes. Then what else can you do? God, how can I help? Maybe it is that you meditate. Maybe it is that you put out a beautiful sound onto the planet. Maybe it is that you write a beautiful book. We don't know. Ask God. You will get the message. But what we're saying is don't separate yourself by judging yourself up against the others and saying, well, they haven't done the work. They haven't done this. Don't do it. You're all one. And this is what you're going to discover. You are all parts of the divine cosmic soup. Your energy triggers others. It invites others. It resists others. It does magical things. So we invite you to clean up that. Clean up the ties that you have to all this separation. Where does it originate from? We asked our daughter, the body that we're using, to run these healings on a Wednesday over this, YouTube, because we strongly desire for you to be released from anything that is creating separation and fear in you. So we feel that we have said the message that we wanted to say, that you are indeed very powerful creators. Look what you're creating. And yes, we know some of you will say, well, no, I'm not creating any of that. And maybe you're not. But what can you do to help? Because if your energy is truly in alignment with God, you're not going to be thinking, how can I make money out of this? You're going to be thinking, how can I help? Where can I be of service? Where would you have me today, God? And that could be to comfort an animal, to comfort a child, to comfort an elderly person. It could also be to speak your truth to someone in a kind manner. No, thank you. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not going to be part of a satanic ritual. You could say that. Or you could say, I'm choosing to breathe and be free. Whatever it is you want to do. But be true to yourself also. And if yourself is true to God, they're in alignment. But if yourself is only true to your ego, they're not in alignment. There has been a lot of false advertising about your worth. Yeah. So your worth is because you are a nice person. Because you are here. That's not self-worth. That's self-grandiose. Sit in your heart each day. Open your palms. Breathe into your body. Feel the space inside your skin. The space in your body. God, my heart is open to you. Come, sit in my heart. God, my world is open to you. Come, sit in my world. Whatever words you want to use. The light of God moves through me. The light of God speaks through me. The light of God actions through me. Whatever it is, connect with it each day. And it will grow stronger. You know that. What you focus on grows. It will grow stronger. Because it's a separation from God that has created all of this. The key is to reconnect. Because what you're doing is you're reconnecting with your own truth, your own essence. And when you do that, you feel abundant and you're happy to be of service. Not to be a servant, to be of service. So, on this we would like to finish now. We thank you for listening, and we thank you for sharing this message. And we leave you this day in our love and our light and our truth and our blessings. And we thank you for allowing us to share with you today. Goodbye. Okay. So I'm going to leave. Thank you very much. I hope this was a good message. I will listen to it in a minute. And enjoy. Bye for now.